Attention passengers. This is your co-pilot speaking. Your pilot is black mind, so you are not going blind and there is no power failure. You are merely experiencing the immense blackness of his proximity, and when you hear his voice, you and the cabin will get even darker than you are currently. We will be cruising at the speed equal to light, because the one other thing that travels equally fast is darkness. Your loved ones awaiting your arrival may not recognize you at first sight. This is normal. Simply tell them about the pilot, and they will understand. We will taxi to the runway now, so please buckle up and prepare for a high-speed departure. Thank you for choosing JetBlck Airways, where the phrase jet black is also a verb. We hope you keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Justice forever.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To some of y'all and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the button because the message is more important than the messenger. So with that being said, so you all are here on my YouTube, and I would advise y'all to go ahead and check into the Black Trion. That's the first class section of JetBlck Airways. There I have placed some first time international airport transit information for travelers. Some of the things that I used to have on the old Black Trion. I have placed some information as well about common ways that travel gets sabotaged. I have also talked about what's going on in Colombia and what it does and doesn't mean, but also more importantly, how you can tell. There's one thing I'm going to add here on YouTube for free, but I'm not going to generally allow much crossover. What's on Black Trion will only be available on Odyssey for pay or on Black Trion. I would not generally take what is on Patreon and allow it to be here for free. So regarding regarding these guys that have been taken out in Colombia, there's one thing I want to remind you all about. The women that are dancing on the graves of these guys, or even just so much as trying to throw their tombstones in our faces as if to say, see, no matter where you go, it's going to be the same, are actually making a worse case for Western women. What they're pretty much saying is, number one, now that we know this happens in Colombia, we want you to go there. Number two, what they're saying is, this is what we want to do to you anyway. And we're glad to see that these other women are on code. Number three, it's sort of like a Southern racist being glad to find out that you're facing racism in the North too. That's what this is like. A Klansman glad that when you move up to Chicago, you still face discrimination. This is that. The other thing too is that what they're saying in a nutshell is, now you can forget about the BBLs that we died trying to get. This is them doing that and dying in the process, or even if they survive, is still far worse than when a guy goes to Colombia and winds up being done in, drugged, robbed, or erased. I want you all to factor that in. See, if you were going to Colombia and you were looking to pay for play, you were still wrong. That's fornication, and a rather cheap version of it at that too. However, what I want you to realize is that you were doing this based on a human weakness and the lack of another option, or at least the perceived lack of another option. There is another option, but a lot of you don't know about it, or you don't know it's an option. When they go to Santo Domingo or Mexico or anywhere else to get a BBL, they're not doing that because they have to. They're doing that because they want attention. They're not doing this because they're not doing that to get a dude. They're doing it to get attention from dudes. If they're doing it to get a dude, then they're doing it to get either a guy with a bag or a thug with no bag, but usually to get a combination of both. That's usually why. They're generally speaking interested in getting both, the dual mating strategy. Now that's a strategy, but that's not something that they have to do. It's not. See, many times you may go down to these places and a lady who is even in a position to do these things to you does not have to be a 10. She doesn't have to be rare and unfindable and unrealistic. It doesn't necessarily require that. As I've stated, your problem is you being too easy. They go down to get a BBL so that they can be more difficult without paying the price, the full price. That's all it is. They do what they do so that they can be more difficult, and they wind up dying in the process as well. The other thing I wanted you, and last thing I'm going to tell you all, is that if you want to know about the link between them, between the robbers in Colombia and the Western niches, you're going to have to go to Patreon for that. And you're going to have to listen to the last upload. At this point, there was a $6 a month subscription. I'm doing away with that. Shouts out to Red Falls Black. He subscribed to that. I'm going to do the refund, Red Falls Black. But what I'm going to be doing in your case is that I'm going to be emailing you the links for the next month to the videos, or I'm going to let you have the videos in your email so that you, if in case they stop the subscription to Patreon altogether, in case they do that, you'll still have access to the same content. I'm not doing this for anyone else, though. At this point, the only subscription available to anybody is the $10 a month, and that's it. However, they're going to bill at the same time every month. So it's not going to be, it'll be at the same time each month. So it's not going to be like everybody gets billed on the 1st and you subscribed on the 25th of the previous month. But you had to pay the full 10. It won't be like that. Don't for 1 second underestimate what I've been telling you all about, what you're facing here. Not for a second. But also don't let anybody distract you. Be alert and be aware of what's going on in Colombia, sure. But do not let the hyenas come along and use even that awareness for the wrong reasons. What the hyenas are looking for is nothing other than just you having no other option but to deal with them or the likes of them. You having no better option. They actually, to a certain extent, don't really care if you get robbed. You think about it. What's the reason? The hyena may want to rob you, but she doesn't hate the one that's robbing you in Colombia. The reason she doesn't is because at the end of the day, you were still getting drugged and robbed. That's how she sees it. That tells you again that her hatred of you is more than her love for her own wallet. Let that sink in. Thank you for listening. As always, black hole, black mind, black out, assalamu alaikum, black heterosexual, non-select male power because they don't like it. Black patriarchy until extinction of judgment day. Thank you for flying again with us here on Jet Black Airways, with Jet Black is also a verb. Keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender, justice, forever.